So before moving back to Jupiter, I was a professor at University of Alabama, studying really cool river systems all over the world, and had a chance to move home. And I talked to my buddies from grad school, I talked to friends, professors around the world, and getting to tell them that my day job today is preserving and protecting the river that I grew up fishing with my brothers, they're so envious. It's the best job in the world. Literally each day wake up and say, what else can we do to make this river better?
Very few people know this, but when we have the huge females spawning in the inlet in August, on one tide, one of those big fish can come from all the way back in Jonathan Dickinson on one tide, outgoing tide, follow it all the way out to the inlet, spin the tide out there, and on the incoming tide, come all the way back. That is a fact. People think that they just reside out there. I believe the males reside out there and wait on them, but the females go and come.
Okay, so James, what we have here, the banyan tree here is a landmark. It's a local landmark. Anyone that goes on the river, you can say, hey, yeah, just around the banyan tree, and everyone knows what we're talking about. One of the great things, we're about 4 miles inshore from the inlet, right? So we call this River Mile 4, start at the inlet, coming up. The river is about 16 miles long, going all the way to the northwest fork of the Loxahatchee River. In this vicinity, the primary habitat is oyster reef. The Loxahatchee River District, partnering with Palm Beach County Environmental Resources Management and others several years ago, this entire bay up here around these natural mangrove islands, there was a beach dredging project that had too much shell on the beach. We used all that shell, we actually sieved all the shell, brought it and placed it in big shallow mats out here, and the oysters naturally occur in Loxahatchee River. All of that shell became substrate that the oysters settled on, and we created about 6 acres of oyster reef right here through a really innovative collaborative project, always looking what can we do to improve water quality, to improve habitat. We're very proud of this oyster restoration project.
So Aubrey, it looks like a lot of people have got mangroves like in front of their yards over here. What's that all about?
So we would call this a living shoreline here. You can see the limestone riprap down at the base of the mangroves, and then a breakwater, if there is one at all, behind that. It's a much more high functioning edge of the water than just a simple vertical seawall right down to open water. So these living shorelines, if you value wildlife, if you value habitat, this is the way that you would want your waterfront to be. Nice, quality habitat out offshore of your seawall.
So Aubrey, if you don't have a boat, where can you go to learn about the system, the whole Loxahatchee River, etc.?
So there are 2 fabulous local places to go and learn about the Loxahatchee River. One is the Loxahatchee River Center in Burt Reynolds Park. It's a beautiful facility. Literally going there and walking around and exploring the aquaria, it's kind of like taking a small indoor trip down the Loxahatchee River. You see the cypress swamp, you see the seagrasses, the mangroves, the oysters, and you see the coral reefs offshore. Another great place locally is Bush Wildlife Sanctuary. That is actually, Bush Wildlife Sanctuary is on the grounds of the Loxahatchee River District. They're co-located with our wastewater treatment facility. Not many people realize that. It is the #1 destination on TripAdvisor in Jupiter, and for a good cause. It's a beautiful facility to go and learn about local native wildlife. Bush Wildlife does a great job on rehabilitating injured and wounded wildlife. You know, living in the Palm Beaches, especially to me, the northern Palm Beaches is fabulous. You've got Loggerhead Marine Life Center, the River Center, Bush Wildlife, these great local areas to go to and learn about native habitats and native wildlife. We've got actually the Loxahatchee River, one of 2 national wild and scenic rivers in the whole state of Florida that we can visit and enjoy. From beaches to cypress swamp, to seagrasses, to mangroves, to catch a nice snook on a beautiful spring or summer or fall day. Year-round, you can always find something awesome to do in the Palm Beaches, in my opinion.
That's why I'm hooked in the Palm Beaches.